Hi, subscribers. It's me. It's Tuesday, and it's me. Sorry it's a couple hours later than usual. It's been one clusterfuck of a day, I gotta say. I was going to talk to you about my favorite bands and why they're my favorite bands, but in light of Jenna Marbles' recent video called What Video Games Taught Me, I'm going to make a response to that. So, I'm not here to slam Jenna Marbles in any way. I am subscribed to her, and I like her, and she's funny. But I think she was very incorrect with a lot of the things she said in that video. I mean, yeah, video games have some crazy shit that happens, and the logic and the physics aren't necessarily, or even like the physiology of the people in it, are obviously nothing like the stuff that happens in real life, and if you are capable of telling the difference between fiction and reality, I think we're okay there. So, I'm not gonna slam Jenna Marbles. She has every right to say what she wants to say. It was a little irksome. She didn't actually get into the lessons of video games, and that's what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm gonna try to tell you what I think video games actually teach people. Myself. You know, since I have the most experience with what video games taught me, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Sorry I'm so close to the camera, by the way, but ever since we moved in here, the sound is just so quiet. This is my third take, and I'm talking really loud, and I hope I don't wake my sister up. Anyway, you can see how awful my teeth are and how crooked my nose is. Alright, insecurities out of the way. I'm going to start with saying how I think video games and books are alike. Video games and books are similar in a lot of ways. Some of them are just fluff pieces. Like, I have this book that I read, you know, whenever I just want to read something light, not really anything. You know, it's just something fun. It's called The Girl in the Steel Corset. It's just fluff reading. There's no real meaning behind it. There's not any life lessons or anything, except maybe accepting yourself, but whatever. That's life lesson of everything. And it's fun. And then there are books that I read, like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, or The Fault in Our Stars, which are tragic and beautiful and say a lot. They teach you a lot about yourself and about other people and about grief and love and life. And that's, like, there are video games like that too. Like, I seriously doubt that there are any hidden meanings of life in Mario Brothers, let's say. Because, I mean, it's just silly and fun to play, and it's ridiculous, and it's great. And then there are games which I'm going to, sorry, God, my face, which I'm going to talk about a little more, like the BioShock games are very deep, and I think they're less about the plot and more humans are flawed creatures, and I think BioShock tries to illustrate that in that flawed creatures cannot create a utopia. That's impossible for something as flawed as a human being to do, but they also, I think, tried to show that your flaws aren't bad. You need to accept them and realize that you have flaws. You need to realize what they are. Or you end up like Comstock or shit, what's his name from the first BioShock? I can't remember. It was a long time ago, okay? Really sorry. Or you'll end up like them. People who think they're perfect tend to not recognize other people as living creatures that need respect. I think BioShock was trying to say you need to recognize your flaws, and you need to recognize that this world's not perfect, and it's never going to be. This world will never be perfect. And speaking about the world of humans, not planet Earth, although that will probably also never be perfect, I guess. I don't know. But our society, our world, it's never going to be perfect. And that's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. You just need to accept your flaws and know what they are and try to minimize the impacts they make on the world. And I think that's, well, I know that's what I got out of BioShock. Alright, let's go with the Portal games. God, Portal 2 is my favorite game of all time. I love it so much. Portal illustrates that, again, if you think you're perfect, you're not going to succeed. I mean, GLaDOS thought she was invincible, and then Chell just killed her twice. So, I mean, that happened. Wheatley thought he had outsmarted GLaDOS and Chell, and he didn't. And Chell, not sure what she thought. She doesn't speak, but she was clever. She was a very clever person, and she went through all those tests. And Ratman helped her. Ratman, like, it's the only reason Chell survived those games. Sometimes. And Ratman helped her, and together they were a team, even if only one of them was aware of it. Together they just knocked GLaDOS down, because first off, they were both very clever people. Ratman for figuring out how to show Chell how to get there, and Chell for being smart enough to realize that she should follow these instructions. And perseverance. If you know what you want, and you know how to get there, don't stop. It's going to be tough as shit. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be rough. And you are probably going to want to give up, because I'm sure Chell was just thinking, this is not fucking worth it at some point. She kept going, and she killed GLaDOS. And she escaped from Aperture Laboratories. So that's what Portal taught me. Let's see, Call of Duty and or Halo taught me that I suck at and do not enjoy first-person shooters. So anybody who has played those games, let me know what they taught you, because I want to know. I just don't like first-person shooters, and I am horrendous at them, and those two things are probably not unrelated. What is it with my face? I swear to God, sorry for itching so much. So that's what those taught me. Pokemon taught me not that animal fighting is an okay way to make a living, because I am a person capable of telling the difference between fiction and reality, as most people are, since I don't know anyone who plays Pokemon and has decided to start animal fighting rings. Because of that. I don't know anyone who has animal fighting rings either. Come to think of it, shocker. I mean, so Pokemon taught me that if you show affection to and love and are kind to other living creatures, they'll reciprocate that love and kindness. I mean, obviously that's not always true. I'm not going to go walk up to a mountain lion and be like, I love you, you're not going to kill me, because that's crazy. But we need to respect our fellow living creatures. They're precious things. Pokemon in the games are precious things, and people love them. And animals on this planet are equally precious and deserve our respect. I mean, whether it's sharks, rhinoceroses, the western black rhinoceros went extinct this month, and the rest of the rhinoceroses don't deserve that. Sharks don't deserve to be killed for no reason. And nothing deserves to be killed for no reason. There is no excuse to kill something just because you want its fur, or because you think any part of it would be fun to have as a trophy. That's wrong. And that's what I learned from Pokemon, is that other living creatures are precious things, and we shouldn't take them for granted. That got deep. Let's see, what else is The Walking Dead from Telltale Games taught me that I don't really know what I would do in an apocalypse situation. I mean, yeah, I made some decisions in the game, but those don't necessarily reflect what I would do in real life. There are no real consequences from the game. It also taught me real life lessons, that sometimes you have to leave someone to fend for themselves in order for you to succeed. But if you are able to help them, you should. But if it's between you succeeding and the other person succeeding, leave them on their own. It's okay to help yourself, too. It's not selfish. Sometimes it's necessary. And so that's what I learned from video games. I'm sure there are other video games that I've played and learned from, but I can't remember any of them right now. It's 7, I have homework. Gotta go do my astronomy. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Save the sharks!